Welcome back. It's time for us to look at what the newspapers are serving this morning for breakfast. Whatever it is, we will, we may just have to accept it, but give our own little, contribution. I'm going to be starting with the Nation newspaper. ICAO's 91 a 90 whoa 914. What is this? Okwe, can you please read this for me? 91.45.
Yeah.
91.45% aviation safety rating excites Tinubu. All right, got it. Thank you. While the federal government rolls out new strategy to stabilize food prices and boost production. FCCPC seals estate over default to subscribers. Wike not locked in talks to end strike. Governor's outline plan for state police. Oyedele allows brief NGF. Oil marketers, airline operators, regulators to resolve Jet A1 price crisis swiftly. The banner headline for the Nation newspaper: APC targets rancor-free primaries with revised plan. The riders for that story: nomination forms open to all eligible party members. Electronic list of members sent to INEC. El Rufai arraigned in Abuja for intercepting Ribadu's phone chats. Agency seeks order to conceal witnesses' identities. And there's a small timetable for the APC primaries here. It says House of Reps, Friday, May 15th. Senate, Monday, May 18th. House of Assembly, Wednesday, May 20th. Governorship, Thursday, May 21st. Presidential, Saturday, May 23rd. And finally, the screening, May 6th to 9th. Now, the last story on the Nation newspaper: Senate considers $516 million foreign loan and requests for Sokoto Badagry super highway. Well, that is in the bottom strip of the Nation newspaper, and it's written. It's in red, written in white and a red background, such that I could just have jumped over that. Anyway, that's it from the Nation newspaper right now. We'll go to the
jumping over it is intentional, by the way.
The Tribune.
You've not done anything out of order to jump over it. Okay. The Tribune is also still picking a couple of the stories that the Nation had also reported for us this morning. Okay. Give me a second. Apologies. Okay. For Nigerian Tribune, it says 2027 rumblings in the APC over aborted deals with lawmakers as Tinubu wades in meets governors. DSS arraigned El Rufai for allegedly intercepting the NSA's phone conversation. And of course, the screaming headline: Tinubu seeks Senate approval for $516 million loan with the rider to finance the Sokoto Badagry Superhighway. Request must be thoroughly scrutinized, the leader of the opposition, Atiku Abubakar, is saying. And there's a picture of the Oni of Ife and the governor of Rivers State, Governor Fubara. And that's the at the opening of this section of the meeting of the Southern Nigerian traditional rulers in Port Harcourt yesterday. Well, NADDC AFDB 6 Cooperation on Development of Nigeria's e-mobility ecosystem. A troop foil attack in Yobe kills 24 terrorists. Southern traditional rulers meet in Port Harcourt. Tinubu deserves re-election for his vision. Well, We find out he's saying that on page 10 of the Nigerian Tribune. And the health tip: walking more reduces risk of death by 40% and heart disease by 20%. I no wonder I'm living longer. APC shift presidential and governorship primaries as Dangote refinery exports 1.16 billion liters of aviation fuel to Europe, supplies 95% of Nigeria's Jet A1. I'm interested in that health corner. That small one.
Okay.
Walking reduces risk of death by 40%, heart disease by 20%. That one, I like that
No,
one.
but it's true. But I mean, I thought that was common knowledge. You know, people, stroke patients are asked to walk. People with heart diseases are asked to walk. Obesity, they're asked to walk. You know, generally, you know, to keep fit, you know, you need to walk. I have been asked to walk compulsorily at least 30 minutes every day. I don't know if I adhere to that, but I'm trying.
So I usually have every morning walk before we started, MITV Plus Express. So there was a day I did 11.3 kilometers in the morning. That's like 3 hours walk from my house all the way to Aripo, turn around, punch newspaper headquarters, back to the house every morning. So I uploaded one of my tracker on my WhatsApp status one day. My friend asked me that, did I do interstate delivery with my leg? That how did I do 3 hours walk in the morning between 6 a.m. and 9:30? And believe me, this one, I can tell you emphatically that maybe 40% is even low. There's something that happens to your body when you have that early morning mobility. By the time you're at work, you're settling down, your entire system is up and running, is agile, you're not tired, you're not stressed. And I think I would really advise it. If you can't do it during the week, maybe because of your work, you could do it on the weekend. And even maybe when you get back from work at night, it helps you to even sleep better.
Oh yeah.
If you have a walk at night, maybe you come back home, then you have a good cold water shower, then you sleep. You may wake up late like I did this morning, actually, but take a risk.
Is that it from the
that's it from the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, I'll look at the Vanguard newspaper right away. CBN increases ATM card issuance fee by 50% to 1,500 naira. What was it before? Was it
1,050 naira?
Was 1,050?
It was 1,050. Now it's 1,500.
Okay. You know, everybody is taking his own toll, you know, to make life more difficult for us.
It's tough.
Well, glitz, glamour as Vanguard awardees step forth today. Event is live on NTA channels, TV, and Arise Television. We have a full front page cover of Vanguard Personalities of the Year 2025. They've not paid for adverts, so I will not, you know, mention all the awardees, but I would pick, you know, Personality of the Year, Olubumi Tunji-Ojo, Minister of Interior, and also Sayu Dan Tata. Those are the two personalities of the year. And we have other people like Cecilia Ibru, Bokno Akerele, a former deputy governor of Lagos State. You know, just a few people I'd like to pick. Festus Keyamo, I can see his picture there. Well, congratulations. Oh, Samuel Adedoyin, Chief Samuel Adedoyin, you know him. Oh, great industrialist. You know, I think that's a well-deserved one. So, yeah, I see Jimo Bodu. I see a lot of people here. Okay, well, for Vanguard, next time, I think you need to reach out to us as we will be very willing with open arms, you know, to do business with you. All right, I'll just look at the other headlines on the Vanguard newspaper. Tinubu writes Senate and seeks approval to borrow fresh $516 million loan. I don't know why each time I get to this figure, I either stutter or I make a mistake or something. I don't know if my brain is telling me that something is not quite right, but, you know, I'll take that again. Tinubu writes Senate and seeks approval to borrow fresh $516 million loan. Okay, stop reckless borrowing. Atiku tackles Tinubu. Well, question is, if he was in his shoes, would he be doing any better? Or would he be doing worse? Would he be doing the same thing? Um, I have learned not to ever rely on politicians' statements or attacks, counter-attacks. I've never, I don't. I've lost trust in the system, so that really doesn't make any meaning to me. 20 killed in fresh Borno plateau attacks again.
Unfortunately,
Oh
so.
no! Oh no! Okay, so I want to think that the system is allowing it for a reason. Someone is benefiting from this because no, this is, I think this is one too many. And if it's either we're saying that these people that are attacking Borno Plateau and the likes, are the ones in control. I don't think we have anybody in control anymore.
Well, it's tough when on one side we're praising the military for killing these criminals and these bandits, and on the other side the government is saying that there's an operation safe corridor in place where they can rehabilitate and then reintegrate bandits and terrorists back into the community. And upon that, you also see reports of attacks in villages, attacks in communities, attacks in places of worship, mosque, churches, attacks in farms, attacks in communities. It's tough. I try to balance those three. These criminals are getting killed every day. In between, the government is rehabilitating the ones they arrest, and then attacks continue. It looks like it's a circle where we just wash, rinse, and spread. We keep doing the same thing. And I always thought that the missing link in between is, if you look at the point of killing and then these subsequent attacks, the conversation of Operation Safe Corridor is the major problem. And I think is encouraging these bandits to do more. When you wake up every day and the first thing that comes to your mind is, even if they arrest me, they'll keep me in a room, they will de-radicalize me, then they will reintroduce me into the society. Maybe some of them, I remember there was a time where some bandits in Kaduna were also released after being de-radicalized. They were given token to start a new life. People that took arms against the state. Maybe we don't understand what terrorism is. You're trying to tell the state that I want to overrun your constitution. I want to overrun your sovereignty and your legitimacy. I don't want you to exist anymore as a state. I'm picking up arms against a state. I want to create a government within a government. That is why people will take over community and impose taxes and levies of the members of those communities and hoist flags in those communities. And that is not in consonant with what the Nigerian constitution says. So when you catch people like that, and then you use taxpayers' monies to lock them in one room in the name of de-radicalizing them, and then you put them in jets and you fly them back into communities, and there's that missing link of social justice. There are people that are feeling the consequences of these villages that are burnt down. There are people that their family members were killed right in their presence. Those people are in IDP camps. You've not done anything to those people. You've not rehabilitated those people. They are not even properly taken care of in the IDP camps. I've been to countless IDP camps in this country, from Borno to Plateau to Benue to Nasarawa. Nigerians are living like slaves in IDP camps. Attacks are still going on in IDP camps. There are reports of rape and child sex and molestation in IDP camps in Nigeria, because those IDP camps don't have toilets. You see grown-up girls bathing in broad daylight. They are exposed. There are no medications. I've been to Borno to do a report where items that they wrote not to be sold, mosquito nets, buckets that are meant for IDP camps, were smuggled out into the market and sold at open markets with the inscription not to be sold. So those people don't deserve attention. But the government feels that the people that committed the crimes that sent them into those IDP camps deserve to be rehabilitated in the name of Operation Safe Corridor. You're encouraging the bandits to continue to do more, because they know that when you catch them, you keep them in one room, you sew white clothes for them and give them green cap and give them fine shoes. Then you put them inside an aeroplane, then you fly them back into the community. And I'm there. This same bandit killed my parents in my presence. And then I'm seeing him walking on the streets. And me, I'm here. Nobody has taken care of me. Nobody cares how I'm surviving. Nobody cares about the mental torture I've gone through. But that other person is still enjoying. So I try to understand the justification around Operation Safe Corridor. It's starring, it's depressing, it's encouraging these criminals to continue to do more. Do you know how many soldiers are getting killed in this country every day? I'm not talking of weeks. Every day. Ambushing 1 and 2s. You know, soldiers are now releasing videos that they would have to hug each other and greet each other before they go and attack criminals, because they know that that may be the last time they will see each other.
Well, there's something wrong with the system. Any which way we want to look at it, there's something wrong with the system. And some people are benefiting, some people are closing their eyes like they can't see what is going on for whatever reason. I keep saying that all of this will come to an end sometime. How is what we don't know, when we don't know. But certainly, a Daniel must come to judgment. That's the truth of the matter. And then we want to look at the resilience of Nigerians. Sometimes I think we overdo it, if you ask me. Because if I sit down here and I say that there's so much Nigerians can take,
And we keep taking everything.
And we keep taking everything. And I just think those are mere words, you know. You know, the words that some people speak on behalf of others, and of course on behalf of ourselves as well, you know, should be backed up with some sort of action. For example, the people who are sleeping and waking up in IDP camps every day, and those children are getting raped, and even they as mothers and grandmothers are getting raped. You understand? Who are misused by fellow IGP camp members who are male. I think it's time for them to stand up and say enough of all of this.
Protest in IDP camps.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm not saying a violent protest.
I understand.
Perhaps a peaceful protest would do. You know what I'm saying? But as long as their bodies and systems can take
receive it,
they will
just keeps going.
It will just
like
keep
that.
going. So the best and the really the best that we can do is just
react.
You know. So I expect that they should, because even if somebody came to you and did what you don't like, okay, I believe that. I mean, even on this table, there are times you've reacted, you know, really vehemently. You put your foot down on the ground and said, I don't want this. This is what I want. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's obvious that you have a threshold and you have things you can take.
Sure.
It's obvious. And that if anybody was going to overstep that threshold, there will be consequences, immediate and direct consequences. And that's what I'm saying, that these people just lackadaisically just relax and take all of these things. They keep taking it
Maybe
in.
They're tired.
Can you remember what happened in the Philippines back in the day?
Then.
You know, so I'm saying that, you know, we can do this thing in an organized way. Call yourselves together and say, you know what, let the government hear our voices rather. Let's come together tomorrow morning. Let all of us wake up, you know, and those of us who have phones with us, you know, let's do a recording and let's send it out and stuff like let it reach the government one day, so that people, you know, once people see, you know, Nigerians are very emotional and sentimental, you know, once those kind of things
go viral,
it will go viral,
and then the government will be forced to act.
That's my point. But as long as they keep waking up, they take their bath, they have something to eat, they are okay, their children are raped, okay, happened to you today, maybe it will be my turn tomorrow. Well, you know, it's just going to go on and on. And there's going to be no attention. All right, final story on the Guardian newspaper. APC shifts governorship and presidential primaries to May 21st and 23rd. And says contest open to all. So all these dates that the APC, you know, is fixing, I guess would be the general dates for all the other parties.
I'm not sure. So they're still within the schedule of INEC.
Okay.
It's between the 26th of April and 30th of May.
Okay.
So every political party would also have to
conduct their own.
Because ABGA is also saying in the next newspaper we're going to be reading now that they've also fixed their time. But the ADC cannot fix their time yet because they have a lot of cases in courts. And I think it's when those are resolved. And we are really appealing to the judiciary to do some
To
accelerated judgment. Just expedite this judgment and let them know where they stand. If it's going to be Nafiu Bala, let it be Nafiu Bala. If it's going to be Bejide, let it be Bejide. If it's going to be David Mark, let it be David Mark.
But you know why we're making this recommendation suggestions, not because we are telling the judiciary what to do, but if this is not done, the consequences
on our democracy.
Yes, it's going to put a dent on our democracy, and the consequences for that may not be very, very good, for us. At the end of the day, we are looking out for ourselves because no one really is looking out for us. If the ADC are not able to,
to be on the ballot, it will validate the whole conversation of the president is doing this, is doing that.
Yes, that's what it's going to. That's what it's going to come out, to be. So we're pleading, that something is done ASAP.
Let's look at Daily Sun. Well, let's start from where we stopped. 2027, OPE leads Southeast stakeholders to Bauchi as 6 Bala Mohammed's support for national unity and power shift. Bala Mohammed seems to be the hottest bride now because he's the only governor that has shown that he wants to leave the PDP. In fact, out of the 19 northern states, he's the only non-APC governor left. The other 18 governors in the north are now in the APC. The only PDP governor left is Bala Mohammed of Bauchi. And there are only 2 PDP governors left in this country today. A party that went in 2007 election with 31 governors. One is Sheyi Makinde of Oyo State, that is also hobnobbing with the leadership of the ADC and Bala Mohammed, that everybody is hawking around. 2 weeks ago, the national chairman of the APC, Professor Nenta Oyetwada, hosted Bala Mohammed and the PDP reps members from Bauchi State. Now, Peter Obi has gone to see Bala Mohammed. Before Nentawe hosted him, the leadership of the ADC, including Atiku Abubakar and David Mark, also hosted him in the Bauchi house in Abuja. So Bala Mohammed seems to be the political prostitute now. From left to right to center, everybody's
political prostitute. No, he's the political hot cake because he's not prostituting actually.
No,
they're the ones coming to meet him, so he's a hot
telling
cake.
them that I'm available. APC is looking for me, PDP is looking for me, NDC is looking for me. I'm sure that NDC will soon reach out to him and say, Alpha, are you available? Come and collect tickets.
What about FRF?
FRF. Tinubu loan requests exceed $30 billion after fresh $516 million highway financing bid. As 7.65 trillion imports, federal government intervention fails to ease surge in food prices. Ex-Nasima boss Oye gives damning verdict on the economy. The rider says farmers are bleeding. Economy has been hijacked by a few. CBN pledges support to boost value-added exports. Well, there are 2 pictures on the front page of Daily Sun. One, Governor Simona Ifubara Midu are flanked to the left by the Oni of Ife, Obadeye Ogunwusi, and Igwe Ezekletos Ilomwaya of the South and Southeast meeting with the governor of insecurity in Port Harcourt yesterday. And the other picture, the former presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, and Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi and others during a Southeast delegation to visit the governor in Bauchi yesterday. I want to be Bala Mohammed so bad now. His phone will be buzzing. And I'm sure that his other remaining PDP governor, Sheyi Makinde, will be calling and say, Alpha, are we still together? Let us know where we stand. Well, APC reschedules primaries, says no single form for president and governor. So it means it's open to all. Police confirmed 12 deaths in petrol tanker explosion in Cross River. I saw videos of that explosion. And I think Nigerians don't listen.
They don't learn.
They don't learn. There's been a lot of public awareness campaigns on radio, on TV, NGOs, that when you see a tanker leakage or explosion, run for your life. You don't have to commit suicide in an attempt to stay alive. So you are going to scoop fuel. You are scooping fuel. And there's a trigger. Plus you plus the fuel, you are gone. In one flash. In one flash. So Nigerians will see a tanker that is leaking or a tanker accident, then they will now stay back. Then they will be looking for bucket. And somebody is on the bike passing, smoking. And then when he's done smoking, he drops the filter. And everybody begins to roast. And they will say it's poverty. It's not poverty. It's not poverty. Now suicide. You decide to commit suicide. Unfortunately, I saw those pictures from Cross Rivers and they don't look good. APGA fixes April 30th deadline for membership revalidation and registration as for crunch. Nigerian Airlines push for emergency relief plan. Six months for freeze credits extension from marketers. Okay.
Okay,
That's much from Daily Sun.
Are you done with the Daily Sun?
Yes.
Well, I'm kind of disturbed. I kind of feel like, my mood just dropped. When they say Nigerian farmers are bleeding, and our government is borrowing so much money to do a road, the Calabar, what do you call it?
Calabar coastal line.
Coastal line that has not been completed. And we think that we should be running simultaneously another road, to Sokoto. Sometimes we need to sit down and look at our priorities. We keep saying that health, education, security, these are our top three. Food is so important. Now, will we say that we are the one bringing it to the fore, to the knowledge of our leaders? Will we say that our leaders don't know these things? But is it not obvious enough that they've decided to turn a blind eye to Nigerians and the things that matter to them, to the people who were loyal enough to vote you into office? You decided to turn a blind eye to them. Whether they die or they leave is not your business. Now, if Nigerians die out, who would our leaders be leading? Have they ever thought about the fact that food is so important?
Food is life.
It is life. And our farmers are bleeding because their crops are being destroyed, bleeding because the farmers are being killed, bleeding because they don't have any money to buy the necessary things they need to grow their crops, bleeding because people are just coming to take their farms away from them, bleeding because their farms are being set on fire, bleeding because, the new, what I call them the interim government, because they have the powers, so much powers, are taking over. This brings tears to my eyes. It is so sad. It is a pity that we say we have leaders, and really and truly right now, by anybody's standard, the standard of the masses, we may say that they're non-functional. It is unfortunate. It is shameful and very disgraceful that our farmers are bleeding. Now, if our farmers are bleeding, what will the Nigerian masses do? When we now get to a point where we go to the markets and we don't find anything to buy, but it will be so easy for our leaders to import even the tomatoes and onions that they want to use. It's not going to cost them anything, really. Because the truth is, they're not spending their own money, hard-earned money. They're not living within the means of their monthly salaries. No, they're not. So these are the things that they don't want people to say. These are the things, and these are the reasons why individuals will sit down and say that they want to take a gun and shoot a journalist who is just expressing the things that are real, the realities of our situation in Nigeria. I weep for Nigeria.
I think I don't want to tap into that emotional frenzy that is coming from your side. But when you have a leadership structure that does not exactly pay attention to the people, They are not people rented. They are not people forced in their policies. They don't exactly care. It's stuff. You listed all of those things when they say the farmers are bleeding, because the farmers cannot access their farms, because the farmers that went to borrow loan in banks to plant, the farmers are even getting affected by climate change. It rains, and the governors often secure counterpart fundings to prevent these floodings, but they spend and squander the money. So when it rains, the farm is washed away. The houses, the barns, the food stores, everything is washed away. And that's a problem on one side. The other side, even when the farmers are going to the farms, as they are planting, they're getting killed. As they are coming back from the farms, they're getting killed. So somebody told me, one of the community leaders in the community in Benin that was attacked a couple of weeks back, he says that when these criminals come and they ask them that, why are you feeding your cows with my plant? You tell them that you should choose between your cassava or your life. So when you choose your cassava, you are alive. Sorry, when you choose your cassava, you do it at the risk of your life. But when you choose your life, you just leave your cassava. So they will uproot those cassavas, cut them into pieces, and feed their cows with those cassavas. And so when we say food security, it's not just securing the farms. If the farms are not available, what food will they bring to the markets for the people to buy? If the farmers in Benue that is supposed to be the food basket of the nation cannot bring produce to the farms, if the farmers on the plateau cannot go to the farms, if the farmers in Nasarawa, in Abuja, if the farmers in Zamfara, if they cannot go to the farms, even with the money in your hand, what would you go and buy in the market? And you know what? I'm sorry. I was having a conversation. I think I've shared it on this post. I was asking the guy that sells tomatoes to me that, how come tomatoes are still expensive after Salah, after the short Salah? He says that because we are exporting our tomatoes to Ghana and Niger Republic, because those ones buy it more. Nigerians don't even have money to buy. We don't have purchasing power with our naira. So when they say the farmers are bleeding, it's not like a farmer has been cut with a knife and is bleeding. The farmers are dying from the groan and the pains of the debt of the loans they went to collect, and they cannot pay back. The farmers are dying because despite the fact that we are trying to encourage local production of rice and everything, we are still importing rice into the country.
And we've reduced the tariff for importation.
And then we have reduced the tariff for
importation. So
we're
going to frustrate.
So people, the local farmers are frustrated because you will go and buy foreign rice that is cheaper than the locally produced rice.
After all the effort in the past few years. How much
do they sell a bag of raw rice? They will go into processing. There's no electricity to process it. There's no safety in their plants. There are no tractors to plant. There are no tractors to harvest. And you think the farmers are not bleeding. A country that does not pay attention to its education, a country that does not pay attention to the health, a country that does not provide or guarantee food security and safety for their people, you are looking for chaos.
And the thing is that we don't come here to come and criticize or run down this country or our leaders. We want to be part of the masses, of the crowd that would look up to our leaders and say, long live Nigeria. Great is our country, Nigeria. Great are our leaders and our rulers. We yearn. We have a yearning in our heart. We have a lacuna. It is empty. We need it to be filled with people who would give us hope, who would make us know that when we go to sleep, apart from the God factor, if we wake up the next day, that there is hope and there is a reason. There's something to look forward to. But we don't see all of that. Every day it is doom. Every single day we sit on this table and read the news, read the papers. It is doom. When are we going to have the hope that we so deserve? The farmer will go to the farm during the rainy season. The farmer will go to the farm during the hot season. Look at the sun. Some of us will be in our cars and say it is hot. The AC is not cold enough. Some of us will be inside our houses and say we are sweating. And there's no light. These people are in the sun.
Do you know
in the desert areas?
The sun in those places. The 7 a.m. sun in Taraba. The 7 a.m. sun in Yobe. The 7 a.m. sun in Damaturu. If you touch Lagos in 1 week, People will melt. And these farmers put their lives on the line. They borrow money. Do you know how much is a bag of fertilizer? Do you know how much is a container of pesticide? Do you know what it costs you to mount ridges now? Because they're still doing manual labors. They'll bring the boys to the farm.
There's no mechanized farming
There's
like
no mechanized farming. Nigeria at the moment, I think in 2020 or thereabouts, says that we need about 77,000 tractors. We have less than 5,000 tractors in Nigeria today. Less than 5,000 tractors. And how many of these local farmers can afford these tractors? We told the government, set up clusters, put farmers together in communities, set up a safety house, set up like a food bank. Talk to them. How many hectares of rice did you plant this year? Oh, we did 10. How many are you guys? Well, 50. What is your expected profit after harvest? 10 million. Come, let me manage your risk for you. Take 10 million. Give me the farm. So what do I do as a government or as an agency? I will buy the farm, harvest everything, take it to a nearby food bank, maybe one food bank in the city center, at least to start with. When you put it there, you tell the people, instead of you to buy one tuber of yam for 1,000, come and buy 500 now with me. That is what they call direct food subsidy. These things are not rocket science.
And the economy is so bad, and that is why, you know, with permission from my driver, I'm going to use him as an example. My driver told me yesterday that he doesn't feel well. And he was telling me, and I said, what has he taken? Has he gone to the hospital or whatever? He said, oh, he has a health center in his area, but he has bought anti-malaria drugs. It didn't work. I said, which anti-malaria did you use? He told me the anti-malaria he used. I hadn't heard about it before. And he said he bought half a sachet. I said, what do you mean that you bought half a sachet? I don't understand. I don't understand what that means. He said, well, that's where his money can take him. Now, listen, my driver earns way, way above what you call the minimum wage. But to tell you the truth, he says his salary can't even do anything for him. And this is what people go through. And that's why sometimes it could be so irritating when you go to places and you're leaving, and the security, you can see that they don't really want to open the gate for you because they expect you to drop something. People have become, you know,
beggars.
I don't want to use the word beggars, no. But because they don't.
The reason why we don't understand the severity of the problem is that we're trying to manage the situation. We're trying to put paper over cracks. Oh, and Nigerians are surviving. Nigerians are not surviving.
We're not surviving. And you
tough.
See, if this is the only thing we discuss on this program today, I will be fulfilled.
It's a weekend now. Take your time. There will be OPE this weekend. Even when you are not invited, just take your time. Dress well.
People are going to be spending money.
Go to OPE. You will see the gulf of class between the rich and the poor. So the people are spending millions inside,
and some people are holding nylon bags. Yes,
nylon, begging for the waste and the trash that the people inside cannot eat. Those people throwing money in the air, the food they cannot eat, they will serve them. They will look at it. Somebody outside
is waiting,
backing a baby
to eat a delicious meal,
and is holding nylon
which is remnants.
By for me. This is a Friday. Monitor it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In case you think we're overreacting on this show, this is a reality of the people we live with. In case you are living very far from the reality as a governor, or as a senator, or as a reps member, maybe the reality should tell you something. Wake up one day, wear a cap, disguise, keep all of your security details at home. Walk into a mall. Somebody will come and meet you with a basket and say, please buy me one pack of spaghetti. When you are coming out of your barbing salon, somebody come and tell, please give me money to feed. Stand at the bus stop and don't rush for bus or anything. People come and meet you, please complete my transport for me. Okay, don't give me money. Take me to where they are selling food. Pay. Let me buy food and eat. So that is the reality of what. So if the president says he reads newspaper every day, if the president says he listens to his special advisors, his media aid, because sometimes I think the paper that the president reads is different from the one we analyze on this table every day. Because if it is the ones we analyze every day, where we say farmers are bleeding, People, fresh killing in Benue and Borno, and the president is seeing those things
every day on a daily
every
basis.
single day on a daily basis. Go and check Nigerian papers
And
in
you
the
say you are
last
in
3
control?
years. There's barely a single headline in any newspaper in Nigeria last 3 years that does not carry terror stories. Thousands
The
killed,
lines are
farmers
screaming.
killed.
The calls have been coming.
Because people
But
want to
we
join
can't,
us.
we can't, people want to join us. We're not going to take the calls yet until we get to the discussion segment. But it is so painful and so hurtful. Nigerians are frustrated. Their backs are up against the wall. But you know, the only reason that the government is enjoying is because the people are still taking it. They're still taking it. I'll quickly rush over the Punch and let's just rush over the rest of the papers. But I feel fulfilled and I feel satisfied that I have said my bit and have made my contribution to the growth and success of Nigeria. I'll take the Punch newspaper, and the above the nameplate article, economists raise concern over Tinubu's $516 million loan request. And that's what we've been talking about already. Automatic ticket, Tinubu leaves lawmakers' fate in governor's hands. President rejects APC senators' automatic ticket request at Villa meeting. Ruling party governors get presidency's nod to spearhead state primaries. Ruling party shifts presidential government primaries to May 21st and 23rd. Wiretapping, El-Rufai pleads not guilty, faces fresh charges. Federal government borrows 2.69 trillion from bond market in 3 months. We continue to borrow.
We do external borrowing. We still do internal borrowing. We still dip our hand into pensions money and still borrow from it.
We're borrowing experts. Countries all around the world should come to Nigeria for
And
consultation.
study the act of borrowing.
For consultation,
They should
and
come
we
and learn the act
will
of
teach them
borrowing.
how to spearhead, borrowing for the wrong reasons. Court remands 4 suspects over Plateau mass killing. That's it from the Punch newspaper this morning. We'll look at the Guardian.
Well, the Guardian is very detailed and is focusing on the controversies and the conspiracies and the complexities of internal democracies in political parties. I've always said it. Guardian, especially for Mondays and Fridays, are always a special delight. OPE Bauchi governors meets as Labour Party shuts door amid fears of PDP fielding candidates. That is towards 2027 election. Delayed special seat for women bill may undermine 2027 polls. Reps once. Page 3 of the Guardian is reporting that story. ADC article querying new loans as Senate considers $516 million request for Sokoto Badagry project. The big story on page 4 and page 5 of the Guardian. How caucus consensus candidacy is eroding internal democracy in political parties, with a very interesting picture right there. Consensus is sitting on a chair and the people are saying no imposition, otoge. Those are what the politicians are saying. Meter providers, manufacturers accuse discos of extortion. As migration organization records 8,000 deaths, missing person in 2025. Well, quite a lot of headlines on the Guardian today. Our federal government arraigned El-Rufai on amended charges over alleged security breach. As APC tightens coordination, as Tinubu leads consultation, adjust primaries timetable. Cross River denies 10 new COVID-19 cases on the media reports. Oyedele commits to reforms, warns against abrupt policy reversal. That's the new Minister of Finance and the coordinating Minister of the Economy. Anxiety over fate of 416 captives as 20 escaped from Boko Haram. And the final story, Zamfara, Kano government sponsor 1,600 couples mass wedding. I take that story again. I'm glad you are smiling. Zamfara, Kano government sponsors 1,600 couples mass wedding. Now you know wetin dey pain you. Their own, the farmers that are not bleeding, their own is just, okay, sponsor our own wedding. Interesting right there for the Guardian.
All right, thank you so much, Okpe. That was fantastic. The paper served, yeah, three-course meals, this morning. Very important and very on point. On that note, we would like to round up this segment, the newspaper review segment, but don't go anywhere. We will be right back. We'll take a break and we're coming back with more.
Well, I have a feeling things are back